This is Oman Adi. Today I'm going to show you a quick demonstration of this software capability, which we call Verity. It's basically geared the logistics market, people who are looking to move business products, services, a place to account for products and to account for their distribution in a distributed supply chain network. This solution was originally designed for oil and gas companies based on our work with different clients, especially in the Houston area. We found several companies were still using, Excel spreadsheets and Word documents to do safety runs and managing equipment and managing their warehousing and manufacturing facilities. So they came out with a solution that can basically do everything in software for them in the cloud. So we're a small startup energy company or small construction company or small distribution and manufacturing company. With this really simple solution, essentially find everything that they have and its movement and distribution all in real time. So that's basically what this solution is. So I'll just give you a high-level overview. So basically, it's a cloud solution, and the idea is a work site. The idea is a work site where you have maybe, let's say, an oil company, and they have a drilling site, and they've got equipment, and they've got trucks, and they've got valves, or it might be a construction site. Presentation here that kind of gives you a high-level view of what it might look like. So basically, let's say it's a construction facility, and you need to keep track of all the equipment, all the products in real time. How do you put all this together in a nice way? And that's basically what the software does. That's what the Verity software does, essentially. So provision the work site. So example, let's say I have a work site called Fountain Energy International. And there are products that we've already defined. It's got like borehole units, generators, connectors, all different products that have been, terminals that have been defined from different manufacturers, and bid price, classification, the warehouse. So basically, you can define all your products that you're going to use on your work site at any given point in time. So, for example, I'm just going to quickly define a new work site. So let's say, you're going to define a pole generator, for example. And I'll just give it a barcode. Let's say a civil manufacturing, Acme, industries, for example. And the model is let's just get W. And also we just say, we're going to classify this generator in electrics, or electric. You can pretty much create how efficient that you want. But let's say the price tag of this is going to be, $15. To find that we have that we can product the portable generator, I'll just call it electric generator. And that's basically what it is. So this defines what it is, its cost, and that works in the database. So we just created a new product, and then how many generators do we have in our current work sites? So let's say we've got about 25 generators, for example. So added 25 instances of the generator. Okay. So if you come down here, you should be able to come back here, and then you should see. We should be able to see that's it, the portable electric generator, and they open up, and it gives you all the information. So we've just pretty much told it that website, Fountain Energy International, we've got 25 generators, and then we view all the inventory of all the products in that current work site. So that's a feature that we found. Our customers, they want to be able to know what they have, so we can use this as an asset management solution that tells you everything that you have and inspected one of these. So with the electric error that we just created, this tells us that we have how many? 25 those instances. So, and it creates them and puts them all in a database, and it tells us, okay, that we have 25 of these. So the asset management functionality, and this is basically a breakdown of everything you have in the facility, energy facility. The situation is, for the logistics piece, sometimes customers want to model moving their equipment and moving their products from place to place. That's the whole concept of actions comes in. You see, you define, location, and I'm just going to give it my name, Hideki, 500, and let's assume I want to move, generators, for example. That for my manufacturing facility, I want to move them to another facility. So with a generator, let's say we're going to move, generators. We have to move Caterpillar, tow holder, and something that and this is all hypothetical, by the way. So let's say move those, and let's say we're going to move 5 turbine engines, for example. Okay. So we have turbine engines. So we just come here and say let's have 5 turbine engines. So let's give it as 10 Caterpillar holders and 5 turbine engines. And then we're going to move all that, and then we're going to put it in a different location. So somebody else comes in, and one of the other locations that we have, in this, let's want to move it to a ship, for example, called the Miriam vessel, for example, hypothetically speaking. So we're going to come and do it. We're going to move it and say move what you have in this collection, unless from our current location, Fountain Energy International, and let's move it to the ship, which we call Miriam CSS vessel. So click, and that basically moves all those equipments from our inventory to the ship. And if a new inventory of the current organization, or basically of the Fountain Energy, it's going to remove those items from local inventory. Look at if you look at the current inventory of the ship, see everything that was moved in there. First of all, you're going to see the collection was moved. On the left-hand side, this is basically the inventory that you have in the ship. On the right-hand side, this is the inventory that you have in the in the facility. So maybe right now in the ship you have that we have you have 5 of the engines, 10 of the Caterpillars, and 10 of the pool generators. So that's pretty much modeling the distribution of all those facilities and moving it from the manufacturing facility to the ship. And the guy in the ship, he gets on the ship and he travels to wherever they want to go. And then you reach your final destination. Then you upload all those products to the final destination. Say, and that is tracked all in the software. If you look at the history, it tells you that this user over Hideki moved this collection from the Energy International to the ship. Another party comes in and says, well, I want to move it. I'm the ship holder. This is what I have, and I want to model moving it to a new work site. So let's create a new work site. Say, let's call it the South Brazil. Say a new work site, for example, and you just give it the, the X of the, give it a zip. Yeah. So this thing, we're creating a new worksite called South Brazil Dockyard. So, say hypothetically we want to move all those products to location in Brazil, and it's on the ship, and now the operator he's on the he's got the equipment in his ship all the way to Brazil, and now he needs to offload it. So all he'll do is come here and then say, okay, look at my inventory, look at my options, and he's gonna just move it with a click of a button. Trip to South Brazil Dockyard, and then it's moved, and all objects have been moved successfully from Mountain Energy to the ship, and from the ship to the Brazil site. The inventory of the ship, it should, well, these are the things that I had in there, like what was originally in there. And look at the inventory of what's in the South Brazilian, dockyard. It should reflect all those generators and all the electrical equipment. So let's look at. So this is basically the South Brazilian dockyard, and then the current inventory of what you have there. Sorry. There we go. Is so this is the Caterpillar product. 10 of those, 10 generators, and 10 turbines. We just demonstrated pretty much applying a new product, manufacturing facility to a ship, Brazil dockyard, and pretty much kept track of all those operations all in the cloud. So that's all, this is what we call, Flex Logistics software. It manages all these products, all the equipment, all in real time. And another thing that a lot of our customers talked about was the ability to do like safety runs and safety design. And like, let's say you have all these products and you've got like let's say an electrical yard that's they want to do runs and safety inspections on all these products and equipment. Something called the ability to design a safety run or safety workflow that kind of tells you, okay, check all these things to ensure that this piece of equipment works. I'll show you some examples of some previous safety runs that we ran. So you can measure the length. This was a safety design that was set up for a product called coaching roller, and all these steps that need to be executed to make sure that this piece of equipment works just fine. So into defining products and creating objects, so you can actually set up a safety design run for a piece of equipment, and you run through the safety run for this equipment. So that's essentially what the safety design workflow is all about, and it keeps track of all this data in the cloud. So that's the key pillar of the very package. So the advantage of this tool is, number one, is ease of use. You don't have to use Excel sheets to manage all your and warehousing. You can do everything in the cloud, do everything in software. When you're running safety, the safety runs, you can do it in software, and it's configurable, and basically it's applicable to reach the needs of your client. So that's what the application is all about. Really well geared for safety lines and safety runs. I quickly run through the implementation here. So stop screen sharing. I come into look at my application. So go to Microsoft. So, like I said, our presentations. So, basically, so this kind of gives you a little bit, this is a quick presentation of what Machine does. So, these are just use case scenarios. We need a way to keep track of all our equipment in various sites, and flow in all the sites, and we need to manage logistics and distribution. We need to make the design and make sure that supply and meet demand and we're not short. So this is a ship model. So basically, all those parts that we define, think of them as being put in containers and moved trucks to ships, first location to your destination location. Safety design, illustration, this is like a generator. So we would set up a generator and we'll say, check the voltage or check the wires or check the oil gauge. The expert will need to show that these pieces of equipment works just fine. And this can be done to sort of like prevent power outages, routine checkups, or routine maintenance inspections, maybe in any electrical distribution facility. Verdi software, it's all based, the front end, so everything we showed you, by the way, was based. Anything to a back-end server. You can define inventory, addition, automated flow, which is basically the logistical piece, and safety design and safety inspection runs. We can use this. All retailers already have sophisticated tools, but versus where they need a little bit more ease of use, or just focus smaller retailers. They can define their warehouses, or if a small company that doesn't have a good logistic software capability, they could use this to make sure that all their products are in stock and available. It's for the safety element, to see all the data is very secure. It's stored in a backend Oracle MySQL database. All the communications is encrypted. This allows people to work without injury or harm, or power outages, or preventing equipment failure or industrial asset failure, safety incidents, and we automate, inspections. So then a picture of how we would apply software to the distribution center. This is the distribution center. These are located in different places. Each has a class of its own, and then we create an object. You can give this. You pretty much tell it the number of products. Consumer retail, like we said, that's a way it can be used. Industrial manufacturers, any oil and gas companies, any deals with equipment, distribution, warehousing, maintenance of equipment, all that good stuff is managed with this solution. And we have a product called Shalom ESX is used for anomaly detection and integrated risk management. And these all together, also the Shalom security product, mainly for risk management, real-time authentication, real-time anomaly detection to help with all the security issues that are going on right now. So this is a safety guy, someone that does, building, and says some parts of my job involve risks. It makes me glad that the right software to make my tools and inspect it, make sure that there's no accidents. We work safe in the energy industry, safety is everything, and equipment works, and that people don't have loss of life or loss of property. Important, especially in the energy industry, and that's what we designed this thing for, to allow them to know what they have and make what they have is safe, and make sure they manage the distribution of all their equipment. But as I said, it could be used in many other industries: construction, manufacturing, logistics, etc. So one thing that we just saw, defining all the products, work sites, inventory, collections. This is a safety run that you saw me demonstrate not too long ago. Another snapshot of the safety flows. I just put that quote: "You know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Now that social, communicate point. Just being honest, being people of integrity, putting God first. That's much important to me as well. That we do everything in integrity, and it ties in with our security message, and all of that. Everything is done to make sure that we're as excellent as possible. Essentially, the Verdi product. And that's maybe my next demo. I will show you all the new updates that have come with Shalom ESX. We've done quite a bit of work as far as the code. Now everything is done with OpenSSL. We work with OpenSSL interface to use all that OpenSSL for encryption. Now we also do quite a bit of, we improved our authentication laws to improve, to certain languages like Brazilian, I think Italian, French, etc., in addition to English. And it's just all more robust. We're doing quite a bit of testing with Windows 7, Windows 11, Windows 8, and so this is kind of what we've worked on in the last couple of months. So now we have products. Varity is one. The other is Shalom ESX, and so that's demo. Let's see how much time do I take. 21 minutes. All your time. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Take care.